This head, dude, is just, it is just gorgeous. And look at what it's gonna look like. My hand's a little bit oily. Like, it is gonna be an absolute stunner of an axe. I cannot wait for it to be finished. And then I'm gonna do an auction on eBay. Oh God, I'm doing it the wrong way. No, I'm not. This head I got for $250. I'm gonna be transparent about it. Okay, so this is how I do it. You put it on top. You make sure it looks straight up and down, which it does. Looks great in the back. And then you get a Sharpie or a pencil and you mark on the inside of the eye. And then that's how much you need to take off. You just want to know roughly what you're taking off. There. For the most part, that's what I need to do. So I'm gonna come up a little bit more. That's what I gotta take off. And then we shall fit the head. And how I take that off, I either use a draw knife or I've been using, with these exotic woods, they tear out really easily. So like you'll catch a grain and this whole chunk will come off, and you do not want to do that when you're fitting a head because it ruins it. It ruins all the process I just did, which it's been, I don't know how many hours, but a lot of work. So you don't want to risk that. So I just take it to the sander, get the most of it off, and then I come back and I use the rasp, slow and steady. Put the head on, take the head off, rasp, put the head on, take the head off, rasp. And you'll see that it's painstaking, but that's what you gotta do. You gotta do it nice and easy because you don't want to take too much off, and you just, it's a beauty. It's an art. It's love. It's life. It's laugh. My heart is full, y'all. Okay, let's sand this bitch. So the process of hanging an axe, a lot of sanding, fitting it, seeing like what you need to take off. So I throw it into here, pound out the head, and then you can see where the high spots are. So I need to take off here, I need to take off a little here, I need to take off here. And before I get any farther, what I do,
and I always forget this step,
I go here and I kind of bevel this edge so it doesn't create like a shelf. It kind of gradually goes down. So I just use a little chainsaw file on my Dremel tool, and I create a little bevel. But we need to slowly take off more material. I'm going to do a little more on the sander, and then I'm going to switch over to the vise and hand tools.
Some time later.
So now it becomes a little bit more tedious, where you kind of have to go nice and easy. Take off all the high spots. You want an even line all the way across. And we want to go down to maybe about here. You don't want too much of this neck showing. We also don't want too little. But yeah, you still do not want to take off too much. Then you'll have gaps, and then it's not a very good hang. I'm sure it'll still work, but that's not what we're going for. Still working. We're going for a beauty. Okay, see what that looks like. That's pretty good. And what I like to do is I just make a little mark right here when it just sits, and then when I pound her, see where that goes down to. So boom, we compressed a little bit down. Oh, and that is looking beautiful. Oh, that's looking great. I'm going a little bit farther, maybe an inch more. Oh yeah, and now you can see we're getting a little more connection all the way around. Okay, that is looking good. I like the distance there. It feels good in your hand. I think I might take this down just a hair. And now I'm gonna get to the sanding portion. Just smooth this out a little bit. Maybe it can come down just a hair more. Look at that. Oh, it's so gorgeous. Do I want to come down a little more? We'll see. Okay, that is all nice and sanded to 180, and then I'll go over with hand sandpaper and finish it up, do the whole handle. So the next part is to cut the kerf, and that's the slot that the wedge goes in, and that squishes out the side of the handles into the eye to keep it a tight fit. So we'll go on the bandsaw and do that. So this is the most detrimental part of hanging an axe. This needs to go on here. It needs to sit down far as it can. And then you need to pound in a wedge. And the wedge needs to be a perfect fit for that head. So how I do that is I put this in here, grab my pencil. That's about where it's gonna be. So then I'll go a little bit wider up here, and I'll make that cut good. That's gonna fit well. And then I round these edges over a little bit. Then the next thing you need to do is you need to figure out how far this wedge can go down. And that's about there, and that's gonna be plenty. So the only thing left to do is put the head on the handle, and yeah. And sometimes what I like to do is I dip this little section because it doesn't have any wet oil on it, and it'll never have oil on it. So I'm gonna dip that in boiled linseed just to preserve it a little bit on the inside of the eye. But as you can see, that bloodwood is going to be so gorgeous with a little coat of oil. Okay, put on the head. We got good connection all the way around. I think I can go down farther. So I'm gonna. Oh Lord, that was weird. Once I put the oil on it, the head just started bouncing up and it wouldn't seat all the way down, which is just strange. So I think I'm gonna put the wedge in. It'll bring it out just a little bit, and then I can seat it even more if it does happen to bounce. But where is my wedge? Where is my super suit? Why do you want to know? Where is my super suit? Actually though, where's the wedge? Oh, here it is. So it's gonna go to there. We put a little oil on it, or sorry, we put a little glue on it. Okay, this is the moment of truth. This is where it could all go wrong. Yep. See if we got it seated still. Looks glorious. And then I come down here and I hold on to this as tight as I can, and I pound it down. I love this axe. Take my big mallet, push down, and let it rip. Before I go any farther, let's see, did it bounce? Does not look like it. And what I can do is I can further do this. Use that inertia to keep it farther down. Booyah, baby. Now let's keep pounding her home. And I think that looks absolutely gorgeous. Holy hell. Look at that. We got to trim that off, do some more sanding, and then we throw her in the oil bath and she's complete. So I guess the only thing left is the final product. And here it is. Okay, here it is. It is absolutely gorgeous. I love the way it turned out. It's just the bright red bloodwood with the contrast of the silver and the black raven, and even the walnut wedge is two-toned, which I really love how that came out. But oh my lord, oh, this is an amazing axe. It would look so good on your wall, hanging up in your shop, above the mantle, in the kids' room, whatever. This is a one-of-a-kind black raven, which I almost want to keep it, but I'm not gonna. I made this axe for one of y'all, so thanks for coming along and watching the full build. Let me know if you want to see more of these, because this is what I do. I like restoring axes, and I do woodworking, and yeah, so that's it. That's the Raven build, and I am very, very pleased with how it turned out. I just want to look at it. I'm just going to look at it until it sells. Okay. Thanks for coming along. See you in the next one.